Welcome to the program, everybody. Tyrone Bowman live, the late edition. I guess you could say that I'm always working, always thinking, writing, studying, researching, trying to find ways to help to assist those who cannot help themselves. I found an interesting article in the U.S. News section of The Guardian, and I want to talk about that. The headline reads Haitian immigrants help revive a struggling Ohio town. Then neo Nazis turned up. Springfield's immigrant community was targeted by far right extremists months before Trump shared his racist rumors. Remember during the debate on Tuesday in Philadelphia, squaring off against Vice President Kamala Harris at the Constitution Center. Instead of him staying on point and on target, he's talking about things that were whimsical and didn't make any type of sense. So let's get down into this article right now. While Donald Trump made baseless, dangerous claims that immigrants in Ohio were eating people's pets in front of millions of viewers at Tuesday night's presidential debate, Joshua Solomon, a Haitian man who moved to Springfield in 2020, was watching cartoons with his kids before putting them to bed. He got a text from a friend telling him to turn on the debate. When he saw the headlines about what the former president and Republican nominee in November's election had said, he was in total shock. Remember during the 2016 election, the Haitian community, they asked Donald Trump what he was going to do when it came to Haitians being here in America. And this was for a Christian group, mind you, law-abiding citizens who immigrated from Haiti, fleeing the turmoil, poverty, and etc., seeking a piece of, quote, the American dream, close quote, like any other immigrant who came to the shores of America for. They're law-abiding, righteous people, God-fearing people. He said, no, I'm not going to do anything about deportation. And the first thing he did, he made sure he deported Haitians by the thousands and sent them back into a worn, torn, ravaged community where he knew would be nothing but trouble. That's why you can't believe what a double-minded person says. And that's why I ask my people, I don't care if you're from Africa, from Haiti, from Brazil, if you're black, you're part of me. I'm a part of you. Whether we're light skin, dark skin, medium brown skin, it doesn't matter. We're all supposed to be one. That's why I ask you all to subscribe to this channel, Tyrone Bowman Live, because it's only on this channel that you're going to hear real serious commentary, analysis, and breakdown of things that are important to all of us. That's what it's about, keeping you informed. Now back to the story. So he got a text from a friend telling him to turn on the debate. When he saw the headline about what the former president and Republican nominee in November's election had said, he was in total shock. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, and prominent Ohio Republicans had already spread the false rumors lying about how Haitian immigrants had been killing and eating people's pets in Springfield, a blue-collar town of 60,000 people in western Ohio. But the rumors, leaving Solomon and other Haitians in fear of being targeted for violence and discrimination, didn't start with them. And this is where people have to understand. If you are of the darker hue, they don't care how law-abiding we are. They don't care if we abide by the Constitution of the United States. They don't care if we pay our taxes and obey everything that we're supposed to do. They still want to target us, simply because of the pigmentation and the color of our skin. Now, I've talked to many of my African brothers and sisters who come over from Africa, and I keep telling them, you better stop being uppity and stop thinking that you're better than your black brothers and sisters over here just because you can speak several languages, or you think you are more proper than us, and etc. They will do worse to you than what we have gone through. You all weren't over here when our ancestors and people had to fight all these struggles and battles. just like we weren't over in Africa, and when African kings were duplicit in selling our ancestors into slavery. Yes, I said it. Those white Europeans could not have gotten our ancestors out of Africa unless the African kings helped to negotiate these terrible, terrible things. So the atrocities don't lie solely at the hands of white people. The African kings have to own up to their responsibilities as well. And even now, Africa is being ravaged by outsiders. They only come over there for one thing: to dominate, to exploit Africa's natural resources to fuel their economy, to deplete the African economy and fuel their economy, because all the world's natural resources, they come from Africa. How is it that the Chinese people have a more influence in Africa than any other part of the world? And when black people move over to China, they treat them like garbage and like trash, like there's some type of an anomaly. It's time to build our economy. It's time for us to grow strong. It's time for us to have our own political action committees and do like every other group has done. Build your own anti-black defamation league. And that way, when people come after us, we can speak up for ourselves. Now, so it didn't start with Trump. These lies are constantly being spread. They were initially spread online in August on social media platforms used by far-right extremists and by Blood Tribe, a neo-Nazi hate group. Well, you know, I've been doing a lot of research studying right now. Because I've told you all before, I'm studying to become a lawyer. For one reason only: to become an advocate for my people and to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. And check this out. Did you know that everything that Hitler did in Germany, he did it legally? Did you know that Hitler was a convict, a convicted felon? Because he tried to usurp and overthrow Germany. He tried to attempt a coup, the same way they did on January 6, 2020 here in America. And everything that Hitler did, when he came out of prison, he rebuilt the Nazi Party. Started off small. He didn't start off big. Conquerors don't start off big. They start off small. And then they begin to grow. Mein Kampf, translated, means my story. And people laughed at Hitler when he came out of prison and told his story. You all better pay attention to history and know history. Springfield officials and police saying they have received no credible reports of pets being harmed by members of the immigrant community, instead suggesting the story may have originated in Canton, Ohio, where an American woman with no known connection to Haiti was arrested in August for allegedly starving a cat to death and eating the animal. What did that have to do with Haitians? Probably was a white woman. That's why the article says, an American woman. Well, an American woman is a code word for a white woman. Starving the cat to death, and then cooking the cat and eating the cat. Michael Vick, who was at the height of his fame, a football player for the Atlanta Falcons, and they discovered that he had a dog breeding business. Had him in cages and everything. They clamped down on him and they gave him significant time and they fined him relentlessly. Relentlessly. He was fined, and still to this day, they don't ever want him to forget it. Because white people love their pets more than they love people. Oh yes, they do. And some of us have adopted their ways. I love people. I have a pet, I have a dog. I love my dog, but the dog ain't human. I treat my dog right all the time. So let's not get it twisted here. And animals should be protected. I'm not talking about animal abuse here. So this woman should have been named, and her picture should have been plastered all across the United States of America for starving a cat and cooking it and eating it. And he didn't do it because it was a white woman. So they put the lie on the black people, on the Haitians, to stir up fear, hate, hysteria. And then that way you get all these people stirred up in Ohio to vote for Trump. You all got to see the psychological warfare game that's being played here. The end game is he wants to win this election by hook or crook, and people are sitting back placating to him. Meanwhile, his ads are vicious, his rhetoric is vicious. That's like this dumb press conference that he had a few days ago, CNN broadcasted uninterrupted, just wrangling, repeating the same hellish lies. I was robbed, they stole the election from me, just doing eating dogs and cats, the same pathetic lies. And I did a couple of videos. You better go to my YouTube channel, you better check it out. And I told you the organization that's behind all this, the organization that's behind Project 2025, and he claims he knows nothing about 2025. He's not being forthright. He's pontificating, or he's a liar. He knows everything about Project 2025 because they are the ones who wrote what they want his administration to do if he gets elected in November. Stop letting them turn you against Vice President Kamala Harris. Stop letting them tell you she's ill-equipped. She can't handle this job. She can handle it far better than he can. And she's well-equipped to be the president of the United States of America. For too long, we've had white, racist men who ruled this nation. They still hate Barack Obama. And they can't stand Joe Biden. Now, so since the woman stomped and ate the cat, but that hasn't prevented Republican Party politicians from scapegoating Springfield's 15,000 Haitian immigrants as Trump and others attempt to propel immigration to the center of their fall political campaigns. In addition to Tuesday's debate, Trump held a news conference Friday in which he rambled without evidence. This is what this senile man does. The man that has acute Alzheimer's, the man who is incoherent and cannot read a teleprompter. He struggles to do everything. You're talking about Joe Biden's age. Well, he's going to be 79 years old pretty soon. And when they put the camera close up on him, you can see how incredibly old he is. Old, haggard, and tired. So if Biden is too old to be president, he's too old to be president. Point blank. And I'm not going to let up. So in addition to Tuesday's debate, Trump held a news conference Friday in which he rambled without evidence about how Haitians had descended on Springfield and destroyed the place. What a pathetic lie. Basically, he's saying, black people, look at these black people. These black people are destroying our country. These black people are destroying the puritanical white race. These black people. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. It's about race. So since it's about race, then black people better turn out in unprecedented millions and vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. And show the white boy that he cannot threaten and intimidate us, because it's all about psychological warfare. The message of fear, 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 fear. That's all it's about. Spreading fear, spreading lies. And the people behind him are far worse than he is, because the billionaire that's behind him, Leonard Leo, I did a report about him. Look at that video. They're worse than Trump, because he's the one with his billions and billions of dollars that is supplying all the money to the Republican candidates. But he doesn't want to be seen. But it's too late, because we know about you now. When Haitian immigrants began trickling into Springfield to work in local produce packaging and machining factories in 2017, some thought the new residents would help the city regain its former vigor as a once thriving manufacturing hub. Once home to major agricultural machinery companies in the mid-20th century, Springfield has lost a quarter of its population since the 1960s. They came to us for one reason. They were looking for ways to find out how to work. Casey Rollins, executive director of St. Vincent de Paul Society's Springfield chapter, said of those who came to the Ohio city from Haiti. That's what they came there for. Came there looking for a better life. They didn't come there to start trouble. They were fleeing turmoil. They were fleeing pain. They were fleeing heartache. They were fleeing poverty, disparity, catastrophes of every kind over in Haiti. And they took the jobs to do that other people did not want to do. And I'm quite sure they did not pay them a lot of money to do the jobs. But they did the jobs with dignity. They did it with pride. They did it with character. They were doing their jobs with honesty, not bothering anybody. But Mr. White Trump didn't like that, because Ohio is one of the major points in this election campaign. So we got together immigration lawyers and interpreters to figure out how to help them work. We are getting them online and getting them to apply for work permits. We wanted workers here in Springfield. They want to work. Let me show you all something. I'm getting ready to show you a photo. The caption says, members of the neo-Nazi blood tribe, Ingonium Defense League, groups rally in Altamonte Springs, Florida on 2 of September 2023. Look at this. Now look, I want you to look at this. This is what is in America. Pay attention. If this was the Black Panther Party or any other Black United Front, they would have shut it down a long time ago. And you notice they're cowards because they all have their faces covered up and they're all dressed alike. They are Nazis. They hate Jews, our Jewish brothers and sisters. They hate Black people. They hate the LGBTQ plus community because they have that, they want to spread their Aryan gospel of Hitlerism in America. Pay attention. And I'm quite sure they belong to the KKK as well. Haitians and immigrants from Central American countries have been in high demand in Springfield's Gold Fresh Vegetables, where they have been hired to clean and package produce. And automotive machining plants whose owners were desperate for workers due to a labor shortage in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. White folk didn't want to go down there and work, so they got the Haitians to do it. Here over in Philadelphia during the pandemic, all I saw was jobs, help wanted, help wanted, help wanted, help wanted. You saw signs by the thousands all around the city. So if they wanted to do the work and they did it with dignity and honesty, why are they being targeted? I'm so tired of hearing that man say with that squeaky, weak, pathetic voice, they're taking your jobs. They're taking the African American jobs. What jobs? The jobs that you all don't want to do? The jobs that you think that's beneath you? The jobs that don't pay a lot of money? There's no severance package that comes with those jobs. They don't get paid time and a half. They get straight pay. Whatever they work for, that's what they get. They don't get paid vacation time and sick leave time. Many of y'all have all that, and you still complain about going to work and don't want to show up to work. New Caribbean restaurants and food trucks have opened across South Springfield, where once abandoned neighborhoods are now bustling with residents. A popular Haitian radio station has been broadcasting for several years, and every May, thousands turn out for Haitian Flag Days that celebrated at a local park. They have revived a sagging Ohio economy. And yet you want to punish them, you want to target them, you want to malign them, you want to lie on them for political expediency. Because you know the immigrants. We Black people in America, we know our rights. And we'll take to the streets in a heartbeat because we're not going back. I mean that. My ancestors and people who were forced to do all this kind of crap during Jim Crow, the segregation, down in the deep South, the KKK, destroying of their churches and homes and schools, and all of the contributory things that notable, famous African Americans have made to this country. They lie and say they didn't do it. Just like during the days of slavery, it was the slave who created the cotton gin. And Eli Whitney, he stole the slave's invention and got it patented and took the credit for himself and continued to beat the hell out of the slave. Slaves were working from early in the morning before the sun got up until the sun went down and got mad if they had to take a pee break just to do things that come naturally as a human. No, we're not going back. We're going to become wealthy. We're going to become strong. We're going to become politically astute. And you don't have to give us a seat at the table. We'll build our own table. How about that? We don't want to come to your table. We don't need to. Haitians speak French because they were part of the French provincial nation. Cite overture led the revolution that gained Haiti their independence, and the French never forgave them for that. Where do you think the ivory comes from? And Haiti is not as poor as people think it is. That's what they portray in the news. There are rich parts of Haiti as well. There are wealthy people in Haiti as well. But the glut of new arrivals has also stretched hospitals and schools in the area, angered many locals who resented their presence. The outrage reached across last August when an 11-year-old boy was thrown from a school bus and killed after his driver swerved to avoid an oncoming car driven by a Haitian immigrant who didn't have an Ohio's driver's license. The child's death fueled anger and racism on Facebook and at Springfield City Commission meetings, where public comments about immigration have often run for more than an hour. Locals upset, while the growing immigrant community wondered if they were being taken over, if Springfield had become ground zero for the baseless, quote, great replacement theory, close quote. Who wants to replace y'all? No one is trying to replace white people here in this nation. You outnumber us. The great replacement theory, listen, y'all have hoodlums and thieves and murderers and rapists and molesters among yourselves too. Y'all commit a lot of heinous crimes, but you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to put it on the front page of the newspapers every day. Especially white-collar crimes. White people commit more white-collar crimes than anybody else on the planet. Always conniving, trying to find out how they can get over on somebody. More white people are on welfare than black people. That is a stipulated fact. I don't care if you all get pissed off with me in the comment section tonight. It doesn't matter. There's white on white crime just like there's black on black crime. There's crime in every community. So you cannot marginalize crime. You have just as many white folk in prison as you do black people. And the man should not have been driving the car. He should have had a driver's license. And he should have, I'm quite sure he's been punished for what he did. And it's sad that a child lost their life because of what one person did. Now you want to malign the entire Haitian community? You must be out of your damn minds. The great replacement theory. That's all it is. It's a theory. No one's trying to replace white people. We just not going to let you all continue to think that you are superior to us. We're not bowing down to white supremacy. Nada. We're not doing it. Soon, right-wing extremists seized on Springfield's unrest. Armed neo-Nazi members of Blood Tribe, a hardcore white supremacist group, according to the Anti-Defamation League, flew flags bearing swastikas and marched through a prominent downtown street while a jazz and blues festival was taking place nearby in August. And I'm quite sure they were financed through dark money. These boys don't have no money. They're broken poor. One witness to the march, who declined to be interviewed by The Guardian due to fearing for their family's safety after being doxxed by right-wing extremists online, reported that members of the group pointed guns at cars and told people to, quote, go to the F back to Africa, close quote. Well, why don't you go to F back to Europe? Go back to Europe, where y'all came from. Go back to the mountains, where y'all came from. That's why they call you Caucasoids, because you came from the mountains. Go back to the mountains. Go back to the caves, since that's how you feel. The neo-Nazis, they're from Germany. You don't own America. America is a nation of immigrants. But they try to make it become a nation of total whiteness. A Springfield police representative, however, appeared to downplay the scene, telling local media that the hate group march was just a little peaceful protest. That's what all of these racist cops who are neo-Nazis say, a little peaceful protest. They try to justify it because they're infiltrated throughout law enforcement all around the world. Several days later, a leading member of Blood Tribe who identified himself as Nathaniel Higgers, but his real name is Drake Brents, spoke at a Springfield City Commission meeting. I've come to bring a word of warning. Stop what you're doing before it's too late, Brents told Springfield's mayor, Rob Rue. Crime and savagery will only increase with every Haitian you bring in. Brents was promptly kicked out for espousing threatening language. Nonetheless, on Thursday morning, a bomb threat prompted Springfield City Hall, a school, and other government offices to be evacuated. The same group has marched in South Dakota and Tennessee this year. Last year, having turned up to a protest, a drag story time, event in Wadsworth, Ohio, where white supremacists gave Nazi salutes and shouted, quote, Sleeg Heal, close quote. The organization allegedly set up a chapter in the state. Last year, Blood Tribe members were driven out of Maine, having attempted to set up a compound and Nazi training camp in the rural northeastern part of the state. Now you tell me that this is not calculated. Now look at this. Another photo. My people better wake up. I'm going to continue to tell my people wake up. Stop just singing and dancing and listening to hellish rap music where rich white people who own the recording industry are profiteering. They have you degrading your people. They have you calling women bees out of their name and blank this and blank that. That's not music, that's trash, that's garbage. Wake up and become responsible before it's too late. Blood Tribe celebrated Donald Trump bringing up the immigrants killing cats live during the debate, said Maria Bruno of Ohioans Against Extremism, a nonprofit founded last month in part due to a rising presence of extremists in Ohio. They are thrilled that there are politicians willing to echo their talking points. J.D. Vance has regularly claimed that illegal immigrants are generally causing chaos all across Springfield on the campaign trail in recent weeks. Ohio's Republican Attorney General Dave Yost said he plans to direct his office to research legal avenues to stop the federal government from sending an unlimited number of migrants to Ohio communities. Well, why don't you do something about the sagging economy in Ohio, Attorney General? You didn't try to revive the economy. But once prosperity comes, now you get mad because black people are prospering. That's why we must have our own political action committee. We ain't begging white folk for nothing. We're smart enough, we're intelligent enough to do it on our own. However, the vast majority of Haitians in Springfield are in the U.S. legally through a temporary protected status, TPS, that's been allocated to them due to the violence and unrest in their home country. Citizens of 16 countries, including Afghanistan, Myanmar, are eligible for TPS. It is not a pathway to U.S. citizenship and is valid for only 18 months, at which point it must be renewed by the Federal Homeland Security Department for a status holder to remain in the country legally. They are entrepreneurs. They want to innovate. While instead of Haitian people in Springfield, they work excessively once they are eligible. But many Haitians have been targeted in Springfield. In December, a Springfield man was sentenced to 20 years in federal jail for hate crimes after attacking 8 Haitians earlier in 2023. Last year, the local Haitian church, now listen to this. Here's how you know these people are bound for hell. Last year, the local Haitian church was broken into and damaged twice. Longtime black residents of Springfield have reported being verbally abused when walking on the city streets, having been confused with members of the Haitian community. The effect is plainly obvious. Normally, when I drive through South Springfield, where a lot of Haitians live, you see people walking on the streets at the Haitian markets and restaurants, Solomon said. For the past few days, I have seen far fewer people. Robin said she has received threats that the St. Vincent de Paul branch will be destroyed for its support of Haitians. People are messaging me, telling me that I've destroyed Springfield, she said. We're just trying to help people. So this is where we are in America. Let me just say this in closing. When the Irish came to America, they were welcomed. They had their own communities and everything. When Asians came to America, they were welcome. When the Japanese came, they were welcome. Every ethnic group, when Germans came to America, they were welcome. Donald Trump's family immigrated from Germany, fleeing persecution. And all the wealth that his father got, since they want to talk about government subsidies and entitlements, he got the money from the government to build. So you need to think long and you need to think hard. And you need to ask yourself this question. Why are black people targeted around the world? Never surrender, never quit.